people have to live blindfolded in this city because once you open your eyes, you lose your mind. Even if it's a thick glass door, you won't hesitate to slam into it. You don't hesitate to get into a car that's about to explode. After the maternity checkup at the hospital, Brock got into his sister's car. People are running around like crazy. Cars were crashing all over the place. Suddenly, Brock's sister saw something. Her eyes started to water. She kicked the gas and the car crashed. As soon as Brock climbed out of the car, he saw his sister get knocked off her feet. Brock got up and didn't run more than a few steps before he tripped over something. Tom, who was just passing by, saved Brock. Tom took Brock to a nearby house. The house is full of evacuees. They closed the windows and doors to avoid seeing the monster outside. Curious, the landlord turned on his computer to look at the security cameras. A strange wind blew across the road. The landlord began to lose his mind and stared blankly. When everyone heard the commotion and arrived, the landlord had already chosen to commit suicide. Although staying in the room can avoid seeing the monster, but the food will soon run out. Tom decided to take everyone to the supermarket where he worked to get food. Tom used newspaper to block all the windows in the car. Follow the set navigation to the supermarket. Use the car's radar to avoid obstacles. Suddenly, a black shadow flies over the car. Tom accelerates the car over the obstacle and arrives at the entrance of the supermarket. Everyone went into the supermarket blindfolded. While they were choosing food in the supermarket, there was a knock on the door. As soon as the door opens, the man outside tries to rush into the supermarket. Tom sprinted and knocked him out. Blood flowed through the door. Everyone returned from the supermarket to the temporary shelter. At night, a couple sneaks out with all the food and drives off. Brooke found out her water had ruptured. Everyone was busy getting the two pregnant women ready to give birth. Downstairs, a man in a suit deliberately tore the newspaper from the window and forced everyone to look outside. Lisa, who had just given birth, couldn't cover her eyes in time and accidentally saw outside. Unconscious, Lisa jumped out of the window. Tom, lying on the ground, grabbed a gun and shot the man in the suit. Tom and Brock hid in the woods with the two kids. The children had to grow up blindfolded. One day, two cars found the place. Tom told Brock to take the kids and hide. He went out to deal with the enemy. They tried to take off Tom's blindfold. Tom shot and killed two of them. Tom chose to remove the blindfold so he could get rid of them as quickly as possible. Just before Tom lost his mind, he chose to kill himself. In order to avoid the next wave of enemies, Brock had to pack up and find the next shelter. Braddock and his two children boarded a small boat. Even though it was their first time boating, they had to be blindfolded. After passing through a dense forest, Braddock finally arrived at the shelter. Once inside the shelter, Braddock finally removed his blindfold. Brock realizes that the shelter is full of blind people, so he's safe from the monsters. Brock doesn't know how long he can live in peace. What you can't see is even more frightening.